A few years ago, I was driving along Gong Road. I was a very happy person. You see, I was making the big move. I was moving to my own place. No more landlords lording it over me and not doing what I want them to do. Over my place. And so I was very excited. And I was also talking on the phone, directing the movers, and also directing a friend of mine who was bringing me lunch because she didn't want me to worry about a meal. And then suddenly, boom, I had rammed into the pickup ahead of me. I was so busy on the phone that I wasn't paying attention. And you know, as happens in Kenya when there's an accident, everyone just mills there around me. And in my car, I had all my precious belongings, my art, my jewelry. And so I closed everything and came out. And they were experts. They knew how the accident happened. They knew what I did wrong. And they were just waiting, looking at me, ready for blood. I came out, and as happens in Gong Road, there was a policeman around there. So he came, and he was very upset with me. He learned that I was on my phone, which is why I caused the accident. I wish I could tell you this just took 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I was on my way home. No, it took the whole morning and a bit of the afternoon. And by the time I started moving to my home at around 2, I was tired. A lot had happened, a lot of exchanges. Money had exchanged hands. And I just didn't like the feeling of starting my new home this way. A year after, at Google where I work, there's a course that's called Search Inside Yourself. And I was taking that course. And that's when I realized what was wrong the time I had my accident. So this course is called Search Inside Yourself. It was started by an engineer who felt that Google could give you all the answers you asked it about anything, except the answers to who you are. And so this course was supposed to help you understand who you are. So Search Inside Yourself is made up of 3 components. There's mindfulness, the mindfulness practice. There's emotional intelligence, which is this course is supposed to help you build your emotional intelligence skills, your self-awareness, your self-regulation, motivation, what keeps you motivated and wanting to do the things that you do, empathy, the connection you have with others, and leadership, the leadership skills we have for wherever we are. The other bit of how do you train your emotional intelligence skills, you train them through mindfulness. And mindfulness is just the awareness of your breathing. What you did a little while ago. You just breathe in and out. And the breathing is the anchor of what you do. And neuroscience is the scientific bit because, as you can imagine, Google is a place, it's a scientific place. So there has to be science that backs what you do. And so neuroscience teaches us that whatever you pay attention to, whatever you focus on, changes the structure and function of your brain. And for me, that was mind-blowing. Let me just say it again. Whatever you think about, whatever you pay attention to, whatever you focus on, changes the structure and function of your brain. And so for me, we exercise to take care of our physical body. We eat well to take care of our physical body. We go to the church, to the temple, to the synagogue, to take care of our spiritual body, of our spirit, but we do nothing to take care of our mind. And for me, this was fundamental. And so John Kabat-Zinn, the father, who we consider the father of mindfulness, he defines mindfulness as the awareness of paying attention to the present moment on purpose, non-judgmentally. So paying attention. My accident happened because I wasn't really paying attention. I believed I was so good at multitasking, as many women here believe we are. But I can tell you that multitasking is overrated. you cannot do that many things and do them well. And you cannot focus on so many things and be truly there. And so that course told me then that what I was doing was I wasn't paying attention. I was not there. I was not in the present moment. And when a friend of mine who knew about my move asked me, how did you feel about this move? Because a lot of things had been happening in my life, and this move was the culmination of so many things. How did you feel when you're moving? I had no idea because I wasn't there. I was driving. I was calling. The calls were dropping. We will not name which provider, but they were dropping, and I was calling again. And so I wasn't there. I wasn't. And I missed the important moment of savoring this journey to my new place of refuge. I missed it because I wasn't there, and yet it was such an important moment. What's love got to do with it? Love is about being present in what we are doing, being present with the people we love. I remember in church where I go to, just last month actually, one of the teachers, there's a course called Ropes for Teenagers, and one of the teachers was sharing how one of the young people was asked, what would she wish for her parents to do? And she said, after church, my parents take us out for lunch, but then they're all on their phones. They don't talk to us. And I wish they could talk to us more. And I was just mind blown that the parents probably thought teenagers don't want to talk to them. But here we hear teenagers saying, I wish my parents would speak to me instead of looking at their phones. And so though I work for a technology company, technology can actually get in the way of our being in the present moment. Our phones, which are wonderful gadgets, can actually get in the way of us connecting with people we love, with our children, with our spouses, with our friends, with our workers, with people who, if we put the devices aside and looked at them a little more, we could get more from what they were saying. And so, for me, what I learned from then is, if I'm talking to someone, is to put the phone aside. Let's take the photos for social media and then put our phones aside. So then after that, we can connect. And I remember as well when we were doing this, Steve was telling us when he came to his first Engage that he couldn't watch it because the lady next to him was busy taking this film. There were blinding lights, and the whole time he wasn't there. And so as much as we are doing what we are doing, we sometimes destroy that moment for others because we are not present. So for me, mindfulness is really about being present in that present moment. Another thing as well is in the definition, it says that mindfulness is about being there non-judgmentally. What I learned when I started learning mindfulness practice is that I was very judgmental. I was judgmental about myself. I was judgmental about everyone. I was judgmental about the weather. I was judgmental about the air. I was judgmental. You see, science teaches us that we are wired to be judgmental. And so what mindfulness teaches us is that when we are breathing in and breathing out, and thoughts come and thoughts go, for us not to judge ourselves. Self-compassion begins with us. But then we also extend it to other people. That it doesn't matter if when we are breathing in and breathing out and thoughts come, that we do not judge ourselves too harshly and say, I cannot do this thing, I cannot focus. We graciously let it go and come back to the anchor of our breath. And so as human beings, our minds are really hardwired, first of all, to be our minds wander. And they wander all the time. And so much that when our minds are so focused on thinking, we don't realize that we disconnect. We disconnect with the people that we care about. And then we tend to go into a negativity bias where everything just seems to be negative. But it's just because our thoughts are in our minds are busy. So mindfulness helps us be able to tune in to ourselves to notice, my mind is really busy. Oh, my thoughts are impatient today. Oh, I'm really feeling like I'm in this negative place. And we are aware about our thoughts. So mindfulness is about being aware not only of our thoughts, our feelings, but also our body, what we are going through and what we are feeling. When was the last time you figured out how are you feeling? Are you in tune with your thoughts and with what your thoughts are? Are your thoughts judgmental? Because if your thoughts are then judgmental, you carry that to your partner, you carry that to your child, you carry that to your colleague, because you're in that space. Mindfulness helps us create a space where we can say, I am not my thoughts, and my thoughts do not define me, and therefore be able to take a break and realize, okay, I'm really in this judgmental space tonight, and I'm judging my partner, and maybe I need to take some time off and realize that. And so this act of tuning in, of breathing, so that you're able to tune in and tune in to your partner and tune in to your friends and tune in to your colleagues so you really know what they're going through, for me has been really beneficial. And so mindfulness is the attention, the awareness, again, of paying attention to the present moment on purpose, non-judgmentally. And we do this just by our breathing. And so I'd like, with this knowledge, to invite you to what I would normally take people through, a mindfulness breathing exercise. So I invite you again to lower your gaze or close them if you can trust me now. And we're going to do a few minutes of breathing. So bring your awareness to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Just follow the cycle of your breath, being aware of the breath as it gets into your nostrils and as you exhale. Notice, are there pauses in your breath? Or is your breath a full cycle? How do you know you're breathing? Where do you feel your breathing most vividly in your body? Focus on that place for a few breaths. Can you feel your belly rise with each in-breath? And can you feel it collapse with each out-breath? Can you feel your breath and how it affects your whole body? How does breathing feel like? If your mind wanders, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Just bring it back to your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And noticing the pauses in between. In and out. And now gently bring your awareness back to the room, back to engage. Thank you. Thank you. So one of my favorite poets, Rumi, asks, do you pay regular visits to yourself? What has love got to do with it? Love is about paying attention. Love is being present. Love is being non-judgmental. Thank you.